Shirley Phelps is here today with 2 of her 11 children, Megan, who's 20, and Rebecca, who is 19. So Shirley, I just have to ask you, why do you hate homosexuals so much?
Well, that's a faulty proposition and a misstatement of the facts. I probably love them more than anyone sitting in this room. I love them enough to tell them that their sin is taking them to hell, and if they don't repent and stop living that lifestyle, they're going to hell.
So you say you love homosexuals?
Well, hon, that's the only, if you're going to have a standard for love, why don't you draw on God's standard? Because that is, after all, the only standard that matters.
Okay, talk about the tsunami, 9/11, and Hurricane Katrina. You said that you rejoiced
and dead soldiers and IEDs. Thank God for 9/11. Thank God for Katrina.
Tell me why.
Thank God for the tsunami.
Why?
Because you're supposed to thank God for all of his righteous judgments. All of those judgments. It says the righteous will rejoice when they see the judgment of God executed upon a rebellious, disobedient, perverse nation. America has sinned away her day of grace. The wrath of God is pouring out upon this nation.
The Swedes, you said something about that. There's a lot of, during the tsunami, in where the tsunami was located, there were a lot of Swedish people taking vacation. And that was a good thing because they died because what?
Well, it was a disproportionately large number compared to their population of people from Sweden who were killed in that. Over there trafficking in those flesh pots, where they have sex with little children and things of that nature. We'd been having some discussions with the Swedes for quite a while.
Because you're saying what, there's a lot of Swedish gay people? Is
well,
that what you're saying?
We got into it with the Swedes because they arrested a preacher who stood in his own pulpit and preached what the scripture says about homosexuality. They arrested him, charged him with a crime, so we put out some news releases about that. We turned in on them.
Tell me about
we included the king, and the king got angry about that, and that's how it all started.
Tell me about your church. You have a church with...
Well, I'm a member of the Westboro Baptist Church of Topeka, Kansas.
And do they all believe what you believe?
Yes, absolutely.
They all believe what you believe?
Yes.
And how many members are in this church?
There's about 70 of us.
About 70?
That's right.
And I understand that you say that if you don't belong to that church, that you're going to hell.
Well, no, and
your
I don't even know that. I don't even know that all the people at that church, some of them won't go to hell. Here's the standard. If you don't serve God with all your heart, soul, might, and mind, and obey his commandments, then you're going to hell.
Why choose homosexuals to hate? Why not child molesters or rapists or
all of
somebody
the lesser,
else?
Look. What you're talking about here is degrees of sins and wrongs. You understand that everyone knows that being a child molester is wrong. So you say God hates child molesters. Everyone knows that being a pedophile is wrong. Everyone knows that being a murderer is wrong. The pernicious nature...
But there's still over 533,000 pedophiles in America.
Exactly. God hates pedophiles.
No, but what I'm saying is they're really truly preying on children and really truly attacking children.
Yes.
Why not get on that bandwagon? But why not get on that bandwagon to make that stop?
And many of them are homosexual. We're not interested in trying to stop you from doing your filthy deeds. We're interested in telling you that your sin is taking you to hell, whether you're a pedophile or not.
Why don't you tell everybody, one second, Shirley, why don't you tell everybody what you do for a living?
I'm an attorney.
You're an attorney.
That's right. And for many of the years before I had all those children, my dad, who is an attorney and also the pastor of the Westboro Baptist Church, and I have 12 siblings, 11 of us are lawyers. My dad pioneered civil rights for legitimate minorities in the state of Kansas.
So you're not a racist?
Well, of course not.
Not a racist.
God never said that it was an abomination to be black. He said it was an abomination. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is abomination.
Why, when you start talking about that, do you get angry? Because there's something that starts happening that I just had to calm you down and stop because it was going like this.
Because you don't let me finish my answer.
No, that's not true.
So I have to get the answer out as best I can.
I was letting you speak.
No,
and
you still haven't let me finish answering the first question. I was trying to say, you said, why homosexuality?
Shirley, I have people on this couch every single day talking to me about so many things that they believe in. and they don't come with a certain anger that you have.
It's a zeal. Don't mischaracterize my...
There's one thing that you say. You say that you're against violence, but language incites violence. I see violence all over you.
Yeah, I know, honey.
This is where it starts.
Yes.
Shirley, I know that you say that when a mother has a child that gets killed because of a hate crime, or their son or their daughter is gay, how do you feel about that mother?
How about if you quit trying to make that myopic and microscopic? If you've got a young child who is cut off in their life before it even really gets started, then there is something going on there. That is the same judgment executed by the same God that sent the tsunami and sent the tower, knocked down the towers, and so
you're saying you don't have no sympathy for a mother whose child was killed?
More, what you really mean is why are we standing outside the funerals of these dead soldiers with these signs saying America is doomed? God hates fags, God hates fag enablers, God hates America, America's doomed. What I'm saying about that, those mothers, those parents, they raised those children for the devil. They did not teach them what the Lord their God required of them, and those children were cut off by a raging mad God before their life got started.
And you're angry again.
I'm angry again. You are doggone right. I'm angry about that.
Angry.
I am so angry that those parents brought the wrath of God down on the head of that child. They didn't even stand a chance.
I just have to pause, because this to me feels just crazy. For you to be an attorney, this is insane to me.
What does that have to do with it?
This is crazy.
What does me being an attorney have to do with the truth of God and my service and my duty?
When you think attorney, you think somebody that has their head on straight, that can represent somebody that passed the bar.
Exactly.
But this is really freaking me out.
And you're acting like that you can go along and live like the devil.
I'm not going to sit here and fight with you on my stage, so please be quiet, Shirley. Please be quiet. I'm not going to fight with you, okay? We're not going to go there. I didn't come here to do this with you. I didn't come here to do it. Your children are here. Can you be a better responsible parent?
And why don't you be a good role model?
Talking and get her to shut up, that somehow you're going to change the fact that God's wrath is pouring out upon this nation.
Okay, well, I'm going to burn in hell, because... So why don't you guys tell me...
Yes, you are.
Why don't you tell me what I am? One of you guys called me something. What is that?
A fag enabler.
I'm a fag enabler. Tell me what that is.
You are.
Because you want
Why don't you speak? I want Rebecca to speak. Why don't you talk to me?
Okay, you have this bully pulpit. You have this audience that you can influence. You have so many people that you can influence. And instead of them teaching, you don't teach them God's standards so that they might go to heaven. You teach them your own standard and saying it's okay to be gay when you know
what show
that they'll go to hell.
Tell me what show you're talking about. You're talking about America's Next Top Model, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen more than one episode of America's Next Top Model?
Yeah, actually, we were sick one day, and we actually saw an entire marathon.
Why would you do that? If I hated fags, I would be like, get the fag off the TV. I'm not watching that. That's what I would think.
That's what I would think. It's not what goes into a man that defiles him. It's what comes out of him.
But why would you? But let me just ask you. Don't preach. I don't want to do the preaching. I don't want to do the preaching thing. I want to talk to you guys. Let me talk to your daughters. They're here and they're over 18. They're adults. I want to talk to you about why you would watch a show like that if you think that people are going to burn and you think it's the biggest sin in the world.
Have you ever seen daytime television?
No, I want to know why you would watch that. I want to ask you, Rebecca. Why would you watch America's Next Top Model if it's so bad?
Well, if you're stuck in a room and you really have nothing to do, you just have to see what's on TV. And that was pretty much the only interesting stuff. It was interesting.
Okay.
But you propagate fag agenda all over it, and you just lie to them to their faces.
You know, it's so funny with you guys. I look at you, two beautiful young girls, and I know that you guys, are you in school? You go to college?
Yeah.
Do you have friends?
Not outside of our church. We have acquaintances.
But you don't have friends.
We don't want to be friends with the people of this world. Our friends are the people that serve God. Jesus Christ said, who is my mother and who are my brethren? It's the people that serve God. I don't want to be friends with you. I don't want to be friends with them. I want to be friends with people who love and obey the Lord their God. Exactly. Because otherwise, they don't have a hope of going to heaven.
Why are you angry too? Why do you want so much much about love, but in such a way.
Why do you keep trying to mischaracterize our zeal for something other than that?
It's really not. If you say that you speak from love and God, let me talk. No, you say that I'm cutting you off. You have cut me off 10 times, so I would love for you to be quiet right now.
Yeah, well, we're determined
I would love for you to be quiet right now.
You ask and you don't let us answer. You don't let us answer.
I cannot fight you on this stage.
No, so just let us answer, and then you can talk after we're done answering.